Yesterday I had a really great experience with Google Translate. So I speak Portuguese and Spanish, and my medical Spanish is actually much better than my Portuguese Spanish because I've had a lot more Spanish-speaking patients and I've learned a lot more words over the years. But my Portuguese medical vocabulary is increasing now because I'm actually getting an influx of some Brazilian patients, which is wonderful. I get to speak the language I was born speaking. I get to help my people. It's a great feeling. And what I started doing was I never keep my phone with me in the room unless there's an emergency call I'm expecting, because I just want to give that time dedicated to my patients and not be distracted with the phone. But when I have an influx of some Brazilian patients, I noticed that there were some words that I just didn't know how to say in Portuguese. Most recently, there was a patient who had a sacral dimple, which is basically a little hole towards the end of, upper lower buttocks. And how do you see sacral dimple? So I had to look it up, and it's curvinha sacral. So I actually shared that with the patients, and they were surprised because they don't know the medical terminology either, but I explained it to them. Yesterday, I had a patient who only spoke Arabic. I can't speak Arabic. I can't write it, can't read it. I have no working knowledge of that. And I thought, what am I going to do? Because the mother was really sweet and she did speak English, but I think she understood more than she could express. And that's a problem because then I don't know what you know or don't know. So it was a 2-year-old child that she brought in for a physical. And I thought, I have to go over developmental milestones. I have to go over his changing body. How am I going to do this? And all of a sudden I said, let's see what we could do with Google Translate. So I would either type it in or I'd talk it, because again, some medical terms, Google Translate might change the word here or there. So I made it work, and then I'd show it to her, and she was so happy because we were actually communicating. And she brought out her phone and she would ask me questions and it would translate into English. And we had some English words too that she understood and that she could communicate, she understood. And I was able to talk about the developmental milestones. We were able to talk about penile care, like foreskin care and whatnot, and talk about so many things, and just like how to take care of a 2-year-old boy, physically, washing, and stuff like that. And it was so great, and I was so transformed by this Google Translate experience. So I am head over heels with this, and I was so happy because she was happy. She felt heard, and she was able to ask me the questions. So Google Translate really helped me be a better doctor. So if you know someone who has a doctor that doesn't know their language and it's a communication thing, have them use Google Translate. Have the doctor bring out their phone and use Google Translate too, because a lot of times we don't bring the phones in the room. So be surprised, a little bit of tech can go a long way.